What is this?
All right, time for a spicy hot take. The katana, we love the katana here, okay? But we're realists about swords. If there's something that we're gonna, notice and see about a sword, we're just gonna be honest and upfront. And here is a bit of a spicy take. The katana is a one-handed sword pretending to be a two-handed sword. It is LARPing as a two-handed sword, when in reality, this is a one-handed sword. Hot take, is it true, is it not? Let's discuss.
Because I think that is a hot take, actually. Because all right, context. People always get upset when I use a katana one-handed.
Tyranth uses katana, and I
don't always use it
even
one-handed.
I criticize him for that, saying he's a barbarian. If there's two hands on a sword, you're meant to use in two hands. But am I starting to come around? Has he actually converted me? He's like, you have a point. Because, this is a one-handed arming sword that we have right here. Let's compare lengths.
Wow, that's actually...
Look how, almost identical in length. And have a feel of the weight.
Well, because this is, all right.
Have a feel of the weight in these two.
I think this is heavier.
So the katana, I say it to the camera, Tyranth.
This one is heavier.
The one-handed sword is slightly heavier than the two-handed katana, which means, and I've noticed I've been saying katana because of my Aussie disability.
I was about to say something real spicy.
I'm joking. But being an Australian, is like having a verbal disability.
No.
I'm kidding. Tyranth isn't.
It's how we speak.
Yeah, stop making fun of us, guys.
What are you talking about? This is just how we speak. I'm sure you have an accent wherever the hell you're from. Anyway, that's mad. Yeah, all right. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, how you use a blade personally is 100% up to you, man.
Honestly,
everybody is unique and everybody has different quirks, and you find what works for you and you go for it. So simple as that.
This goes against the traditionalist mentality.
If you go somewhere to learn something, it is more than fine to learn something.
But they will insist, you use the sword the way I'm telling you.
But that's okay. This is important here. Because what happens is you're going to learn the basics, but you're going to learn why you do something. This is really important. But because before you modify something to suit your needs, you need to understand why you're doing it in the first place.
But I also think it would go an extra step, because after you learn, I think if they see you using a katana one-handed, actually, I can't really say that, but I know there are Puritans that have been you're not supposed to do it that way. This is the right way.
Like, if you go to learn somewhere, go to learn, but then once you apply it however you want. That's up to you. That's your personal taste. That's your personal preference.
This is a nice sword, man.
Let's talk about katanas, but circling all the way back to this. Let's talk a little bit about the general, I would say, specifications real quick about the modern katana. They usually come in and around about 1.2 kilos. That's like kind of the
average.
Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less.
And you know what that is the same as? Your standard arming sword.
It is,
1 to 1.2 kilos.
Now,
look how nice this sword looks, man. We've reviewed this. Check it out. And if you want, what did we get it? 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10?
Something like that.
So it was gorgeous. So affiliate link in the description if you want to grab your own. And it's only like 200 something bucks, I think. Gorgeous sword.
Now, let's talk about that weight, because I think that's really important. Because, look, strength is relative, to put it mildly.
I just weighed that. That's 1 kilo.
Oh, so it's even less.
It's even less. I think it weighs lighter than this one-handed sword.
Oh, then it will. Most of the time, 1.2, yeah? But this one might be a little bit lighter. In one hand, these swords, to me personally, are perfectly fine. I can move it at full speed, and I have no problem with it at all.
And comparing these two, this one even feels a bit more like a one-handed sword.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there are times when I'm cutting something and I'm like, you know what, 2 hands for this, or 2 hands for this technique. That's perfectly fine. But the katana, like the modern katana, what you're going to buy from a manufacturer, is honestly perfectly fine in one hand.
And you need to understand, right? We're talking about your standardized modern katana, which is shorter on average than ones, like you can get longer katanas, O-katana, Dai-katana and stuff like that. But the one that most, samurai might carry for self-defense after, I think, this is in the Meiji era, I think, something like this, okay? And that's a much shorter sword than, this is not a tachi, but tachis were the battlefield kind of variant of the katana before. And this one is just a larger katana, but this is a battlefield grade sword right here. This is a beast, and this is where it's like, okay, yeah, this is more dedicated two-handed, right?
Well, I think we'll get into that in a second. First thing I wanted to mention is there are other single-edged curved blades that are more one-handed, and obviously this is a training blade, but you can see that this one has a lot more length to it. So what is the difference here? Well, it's actually the weight distribution. This is obviously a lot more nimble up towards that tip, where this one is a little bit more heavier, right? So that's maybe an argument against it, right? It's like, well, the weight distribution of your standard katana is a little bit forward-facing, but again, there's no other way to describe this because it is very subjective as a strength thing. When you're holding a katana, it feels really light, like it does to me. I've never had an issue with it, personally.
Like, you know, you could easily shorten the handle, put a tiny little pummel just to get that weight balance back, and you've got a brilliant one-handed sword.
Yeah. Now when we talk about the length, because I do think it is important that we have that context, this is far more of a two-handed sword.
Yeah!
But
you can still use it.
You can still use one-handed. I'm pretty sure I was cut to tummy with this one hand. Like,
now that is an abomination.
Now
that offends me. What he does with dedicated two-handed swords. I
wouldn't fight with it like that.
Thank you.
That is just cutting. This one is actually, if I was actually fighting with it, it is a two-handed blade. But that, I always am so blown by this. Like, it's like they're so light. And not just this one, we're talking like most katanas. They are very light to me.
This week's exclusive, Tyranth.
We are going to be talking about some upcoming projects, specifically some short film stuff that we are going to be filming.
So when you say short film, this is like the sword fight short film.
Yes.
So mainly choreography, action.
Yes. Well, one of them will be, yes. The other one might be a little bit more free form. If you want to hear in depth about what we've got coming up, specifically because we're going to be getting a whole bunch of feedback from all the supporters and members about perhaps some things that they want to see and we can incorporate them into it.
Become a supporter so we can have that great interactive element, get the feedback from our most dedicated fans, and it's just $1 a month. So I'd like everyone who's considering just to ponder on it, because that's 12 months in a year, and we can't express how much that helps. And so if you could even just, throw us that, $1 a month on Patreon, subscribe star. Channel memberships, I think, is a little bit higher, but if you want just the baseline entry, subscribe star or Patreon, and it saves our bacon, guys. This is what is sustaining us. So if you can support us, that'll be great. And then you get some really direct kind of interaction and exclusive.
We have years of behind-the-scenes content going back a very long time at this point of a whole bunch of content that just never is even, it's very different from the mainline content.
Well, no, we also have mainline exclusives as well.
I mean, like, we have behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, heaps.
Destruction tests.
I mean, if you want to see, just go to the members tab and you'll see like the bucket loads of awesome content you guys get as exclusives. So we hope to see you there. Thanks. Is it more of a one-handed sword pretending to be a two-handed sword than it is a two-handed sword that can be used one-handed?
Because what's the justification here? Because like
the length of handle. It's got a two-handed handle, so you use it in two hands. But you don't need that.
These are all single-handed swords, right?
Yeah.
And this one here, like we said, lighter up towards the tip. This one here, though, has a beefy blade, monster. Yeah. And these are all essentially the same length or longer.
Look at that.
Than the katana, right?
With its supposed to be dedicated two hand. Yeah. I'm becoming more and more converted to the truth that a katana is actually a one-handed sword pretending to be a two-handed sword.
Yeah.
Than it is a two-handed sword that can be used in one hand. Like in role-playing games, it should come up as a one-handed sword.
Yeah.
This is more equivalent to a medieval arming sword than it is to a medieval bastard sword.
And we're talking specifically about this length, right?
Yeah, the standard length.
Like the
but this is very stereotypical, length of the katana.
But yeah, a bit of a
hot take.
This one is, yeah.
Are we like offensively wrong, guys? I mean,
I know people...
let's do some demonstrations, right? If you move back, okay. So this sword right here, sorry, make sure you're back, right? This is easily, I can use this so easy as a one-handed sword.
Well, because I think that's what people are going to bring up, right? People are going to be like, well, it's more effective in two hands. And I'm like, I mean, yes, in the same way that a long sword, I wouldn't necessarily use that in one hand, especially for fighting, right?
I'm going to challenge that. Is it more effective in two hands?
This one, katana specifically.
Because people who are not familiar with swordsmanship do not understand some of the pros and cons. Like, yes, you get more leverage and strength with two hands, but that limits your reach. You get more reach in one hand, and so if you really wanted to, you know, maximize that.
That's interesting. I think I would fight with it two hands.
Would you?
I would. Specifically because when I use something like this, it is so light and nimble that I'm able to be a lot more quick with it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with that, I'm not as quick in one hand. And so I think that I would personally use it a lot more to keep my my structure.
Okay. But here's the thing. Isn't that like saying if you didn't have a shield, you would just use this with two hands to get that extra bit of speed and leverage? Because you can this is more like the handle allows for a second grip. It's like almost a bastard sword grip, even though this is an arming sword length blade. Because the question is, if you had an option to use a shield with a katana, would you do no shield, two-handed katana, or shield, one-hand katana?
Shield, one hand, yeah.
Because I think that same logic applies here. This is made to be used in like predominantly one hand, but of course, if you want the extra speed leverage, you can two-hand this sucker easy. But as soon as you've got the other hand...
Yes, but there are other arming swords that are shorter, you know?
Okay,
like
another question. Would you go two-handed on a katana or katana in one hand, another weapon in another, dual wielding?
Yeah, I would definitely. Like, just imagine this as a parrying dagger. I would 100%.
Dual wield.
Yeah.
So whenever you have the option to gain an advantage out of using a katana in one hand, it's almost like we're picking that because it's a one-handed weapon.
I see that. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. But I do think...
Oh, hang on. Is that a mic drop moment? Did I just go like boom?
Okay, yes. I can agree with that.
All right.
Because almost any context where you're like, well, would you take a shield, parrying dagger, or just something else in that offhand, I'd be like, yeah, I'd do that.
And because the katana is basically a one-handed weapon, you're not sacrificing anything by using your one hand now.
Yeah. And I think what makes the difference here, and this is maybe just in my head, maybe this is just me being a head case, but because we have a little bit of length there from that second hand, it acts somewhat like a counterbalance.
Like a pummel.
Very, very generally, right? And I think that's what is the tipping point for it.
Yeah.
Because I think if this was cut off, like here, I do think it would feel probably a bit too
that's why I
heavy.
said if you did it, you would add a tiny little pummel to just get that weight back.
Yeah.
But you're actually right. The extra handle is effectively a type of pummel counterbalance in one hand.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
Guys, what do you guys think?
Like, is this revolutionary or is it just absolute, heresy? Let us know in the comments. We appreciate yous. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Lots of draw cuts are single-handed though.
Yeah.
For the katana.
Yeah.
Iaido stuff, when you bring it out, that's single-handed.
Well, we need to add that in. Iaido, Ijutsu, one-handed
draws.
cuts, and you can do it so effectively because it's a one-handed sword.